You have cleaned up your network, you split your Wi-Fi, and you locked down your IoT devices. Good job! You deserve a lot of credit for doing that. But today we are going to tackle one of the sneakiest parts of smart home security, which is permissions. That's because your devices might be behaving just fine, while quietly collecting way more data than you realize. What's up, s'mores? I'm Shannon Morse, and welcome to day 6 of my 30-day security challenge, where we are protecting your digital life one bite-sized step at a time. Every single day, we are breaking down one concept of online security and privacy to make the process less stressful and to keep you from burning out. If you are following along, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. You can also grab the full 30-day challenge checklist over at shannonrmorse.com. Step number 1, what are these permission things that I'm talking about? Well, smart homes are supposed to make our lives easier, but in the process, they collect a lot of data. Every single command you give, every schedule you set, every device you link together builds a behavioral profile about you. Manufacturers use that data to improve user experience, but sometimes it is sold to advertisers or it is stored insecurely. And when third-party apps or integrations get involved, those permissions can stack up really fast. So today we are going to do a smart home permission audit, figuring out what your devices have access to, removing what's unnecessary, and tightening up your digital privacy. Now, when we say permissions, we are talking about the access that you are granting to your smart devices and apps. Things like which apps can see your location, which devices can access your microphone or camera, and which kind of data is being sent to the cloud. See, the problem here is smart devices are designed to share. They want to connect and sync and automate and talk, not just to you, but to each other and their parent companies. That's not always a bad thing, but every permission you enable is another tiny little doorway into your home's privacy. So step 2, audit those permissions. Let's go ahead and start with the apps that control your smart home ecosystem. So start by opening the main app that runs your ecosystem, whether that is Amazon's Alexa, Google Home or Nest, Apple's Home or HomeKit. It could be Samsung's SmartThings or Matter or Thread controllers. In each of these applications, look for these menus: connected devices, linked services, skills, or third-party integrations. Now, you're probably gonna see a long list of connected devices, everything from like Spotify to your robot vacuum. If there is something that you don't use regularly or you don't recognize, disable it or unlink it. If it's something that you accidentally disable or unlink, you could always go back in and relink it. Are there old smart plugs that you don't use anymore? Disable or remove them. Are there third-party skills or automations that you don't remember enabling? Revoke those. And check your linked accounts like Spotify and calendars and shopping lists, whatever you have. If you don't need them, unlink them. Pro tip, if you are using a smart home hub, log into its admin dashboard to see what permissions third-party devices or integrations have. If you have not used a skill or an app integration in like over a month, just revoke it. You can always re-enable it later if you miss it. Remember here that the fewer connections you have, the smaller your attack surface is. Now, if you use voice assistants like Alexa, Google Assistant, or Siri, I don't want to wake her up, they are recording, and those recordings often get stored in the cloud. So here's how to clean those up. With Amazon, you want to open the Alexa app, go to Settings, Alexa Privacy, and manage your Alexa data. Delete voice recordings and turn off Use voice recordings to improve Alexa. My goodness, these ones that name their application the same thing as the wake up word annoy the crap out of me. It makes it so much harder to record my videos. Anyway, Google Assistant. Go to myactivity.google.com, delete activity by choose voice and audio. You can also disable audio recordings in your web and app activity. Then with Apple's Siri, you want to go to settings and then Siri and search, Siri and dictation history, and delete Siri history. I know I probably wouldn't wake up Siri because I have a different voice than you do, but it's still possible. I know that I can wake my mom's up whenever I'm at her house because my voice is so similar to hers. So I don't want to try because I don't want to run the risk of waking up somebody else's SIRI. Anyway, you can also tell your voice assistants not to keep future recordings. It won't affect performance, but it will massively improve your privacy. Step 3, app permissions. Yes, your smartphone is basically the master key to your smart home. Every single smart home app on your phone has its own set of permissions, and some of those can get a little bit too nosy. Your goal in this step is to check who has access to things like your microphone, your camera, location, Bluetooth, nearby devices, and here is how you check them. On Android, go to Settings, Privacy Permission Manager, select Camera, Microphone, Location, Files, Bluetooth, nearby devices, all those different things. Review each app and toggle off anything that it does not need. On iPhone, go to Settings, Privacy and Security, and then check Location Services, Microphone, Camera, Local Network Access, all those things again. For each app, decide whether it really needs that permission to function. If an application does need one of those things to function, it will warn you when you go into that application to turn that thing back on. But if it doesn't actually need that to run and do its due course of actions that you are using it for, then it's not gonna matter. Like for example, if an app for your light bulbs wants access to your contacts or your microphone, that's gonna be a red flag. If your smart home app does not need access 24/7, you can also change it to ask every time or use only while the application is open. That way the application can't just eavesdrop in the background all the time whenever you are not even home. And bonus points for this part, delete applications for smart devices that you no longer own. Just uninstall those from your phone, uninstall those from your tablet. That way you're saving some space on your phone and your devices, but you're also deleting that potential vulnerability. Now, if you're finding this video helpful, a subscribe would mean so much to me. Subscribing is a very simple and free way to support creators on YouTube, especially smaller channels like my own. Also, if you are following along with the challenge, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss tomorrow's video. You can grab the full checklist and daily recap over at shannonrmorse.com. And a big Patreon shout out, yay, to my s'mores. You can join them and support my channel by going over to patreon.com/shannonmorse for perks like early video access and my private Discord. As usual, all the videos on my channel are free to watch, and I thank my YouTube members and my patrons for making that possible. Let's move on to step number 4, device level permissions. Now, a lot of smart devices back up data to the cloud automatically. That can include video footage, automation routines, or energy usage logs. For example, a smart security camera might store video footage in a cloud, sometimes unencrypted as well by default. Smart lights might back up lighting configurations. A thermostat might store temperature data and occupancy patterns. Whenever it's possible, you want to opt for local storage over cloud backups. Turn on end-to-end encryption. You might need to Google how to do this for your specific manufacturer. Sometimes this end-to-end encryption setting is very well hidden in these apps. You also want to disable share with developers or performance tracking. And if a company doesn't offer encryption or privacy options, consider replacing that device down the line with one that does. Just vote with your wallet. Now I want to talk about the physical devices themselves as well. Most smart home gadgets like your cameras, displays, speakers, lights, they have their own privacy settings buried inside their companion apps. For example, smart cameras, you can disable the microphone recording or the cloud backup if you don't need it. With smart speakers, you might want to review your voice history, delete old recordings, turn off personalized responses or voice training if you don't use them. For smart TVs, opt out of viewing data or ad tracking because yes, most of them do that. Now, each of these different brands hides these options in different places, but they are usually under privacy, permissions, or advanced settings. Now, if you want to get real nerdy, you can also set up something called a pie hole, which offers network-wide ad blocking for your entire network. This will also close up a bunch of vulnerabilities and a bunch of potential concerns about your privacy. I'm not going to go into how to set up a pie hole in this video because it's way more advanced than what I want to feature on this series, but if that is something that you would like to see in a future video, then let me know. All right, step number 5 is permissions routine. Permissions are not a set it once and forget it kind of thing. Smart homes evolve and so does their access creep. So every time you add a new device or you update an app, it might ask for new access, and sometimes it might quietly re-enable permissions that you already turned off previously. So here's your habit for the week. week, once a month, or every few months, however often you feel comfortable doing it without feeling burnout, do a quick permission audit. Open your main smart home app, check for new connected devices or third-party skills, review app permissions on your phone, and remove anything you aren't actively using, then double-check privacy settings after major app updates. Moving on from there, we have step 6, smart home segmentation. If you want to take your setup to the next level, create separate user profiles for family members. Give limited permissions to guests or roommates. Use your guest Wi-Fi network for voice assistants or smart displays. If you watched my previous videos, you've already done that. Disable cloud access for devices that don't need it, like the smart bulbs and the thermostats that work locally. The idea here is to give every device just enough access to do its job and nothing else. Also, a note on Matter. Since 2023, Matter has become the unified smart home standardization across Apple, Google, Amazon, and Samsung, which is awesome for compatibility, but it also means your data can move between platforms more easily. Review Matter controller permissions to make sure devices don't share data across ecosystems unnecessarily. Disable any kind of AI learning features that personalize recommendations based on your routines. And if you do use AI-powered assistants, I'm not going to tell you not to, but I'm going to tell you to check your settings. Check for training data toggles in their settings. Opt out whenever you can. I know that there's a lot of AI products that are being built into our devices today. You might not have the budget to replace those products with anti-AI products at this time. So just go into those settings right now and see what you can turn off. Okay, so today you learned how to review app permissions, you managed data sharing, and you kept your smart home working for you, not the other way around. Tomorrow for day 7, we're gonna switch gears and talk about cloud backups, how to store your data safely online without giving away your privacy. If you're following along, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of these videos. Grab your full 30-day security checklist over at shannonrmorse.com. I am Shannon Morse. Stay smart, stay secure, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.